Let's go live the other way. Yo, what's up, everyone? Kevin here. Welcome to the Snowboard Pro Camp live stream every Friday. I wish I wasn't sideways, but it's okay. So I'm here. I'm actually in Whistler, so visiting some friends in Whistler. Yesterday, I actually went snowmobiling up in the mountains here for the first time ever. Snowmobiling with some friends, Chris Ayers, Brent, Alex, and just had like an insane time. But we'll be on here for the next hour to talk to you guys, to answer any of your questions. If you guys haven't yet, subscribe here to Snowboard Pro Camp. Hit the bell to get notified every time I go live. And if you guys want to support the channel, hit the join button right on the bottom left of the screen. It's an awesome way just to support the channel. There's two tiers, a $5 tier and a $20 tier. And it's just gets you some exclusives. Right after this, we're going to do an exclusive live chat just with the members over there. You get some like fun emojis beside your name. You're like looking through and you see these little pictures beside people's names. That's because they've joined. But yeah, big shout out to all the people that have joined already. And thanks for the support. And let's jump into it. Let's see who's in here. We got Bad Riders. I know some of you guys have been on here for a bit, so I'm just gonna jump ahead a little ways. Chuck Van, Bad Riders, Orlando Dominguez, Justin Vizey's on here. One of the legends. Oh, my dog Jake is just pulling on my headphones. Here he is. Say hi, Jake. Say hi, Jake. Oh, you got my headphone wrapped around your foot. There he is. Good boy. We got Bad Riders. We got Kazu MC. Kazu MC saying, I'm looking for a slushy board for spring snow. Then reached out to Stratos, but found Project X dropped the price. I thought not too many chance to ride such an expensive one. Awesome. Yeah, right now is like a good time to pick up some inexpensive snowboards for sure. It's a good time to pick up some boards. Everything's on sale, like 40-50% off because it's spring. And I think just overall, not just the snowboard industry, but across everywhere, there's not a lot of people are buying stuff at the moment, so there's a lot of inventory out there. All right, let's scroll down a bit further to see some of the questions. We got Hama Blez saying, aloha, guys. Thanks for hopping in. We've got the first super chat. Actually, the first super chat is from Justin Vizey. What's up, Justin, with the $2 super chat? Thanks for the support, man. Says hashtag taco fun. Kevin needs to eat. That's right, man. I need to eat for sure. Let's get some tacos. And Justin is also a member, so thanks so much, man. Lockie says, are you thinking of coming to Australia Australia this year? It's definitely potential. It could make it happen. So recently, the last video that I put up on the channel, I was talking about my top 5 favorite like summer destinations. So summer relating to like the Northern Hemisphere. And I think number 5, I had Zermatt, Switzerland. Awesome terrain park up there. Number 4, I had Mount Hood, Timberline in Oregon. So that was like my number 4. Number 3 was, I think I'd put Perisher, Australia. Number 2 is Chile, snowboarding down in Chile. And then number 1 was Cardrona, New Zealand. And I know that there's a lot more places to explore, like in the Southern Hemisphere and the Northern Hemisphere. But yeah, I need to get back down to Australia and explore a few more spots for sure. Chuck Van saying he can't stay today, but yeah, thanks for hopping on anyway, Chuck. Appreciate it, man. Chronic says, do you prefer Oakley line miners or the Anon goggles with the magnetic balaclava? I mean, I like both of those goggles. The last few years, I've been wearing the Anon M4s. So what I like about the M4s is that They are like, they're a bit bigger than the Oakley line miners. And they also have the magnetic lens, which is super easy for popping between lenses, or if you just want to pop a lens out. So like when the whole like pandemic thing was going on and you had to wear a mask in the lift line, it was super easy to keep your mask on and then just pop the lens out to kind of give your, let all the steam and stuff out of your head. So that's like super convenient with the M4s. I think the bonuses on the Oakley side, I think the low light lenses are probably a bit better for Oakley. But the downside with Oakley too is you only get one lens if you buy it, whereas with the M4s you get two lenses. So some pros and cons. I'm not sure what I'm going to wear next season. Maybe go to a whole different lens, but definitely some benefits each way. I think I prefer the Anon M4s just slightly because of the size. I just like that they're just that much bigger. I have like a bigger face, so like I wear like an XL helmet, so having like a super large goggle helps. But I think Oakley and Anon both make like a smaller version too, so they have the Anon, I think it's M3s or like the M3 Plus. There's like a new M3 out at the moment, so that's kind of like a smaller version of the same goggle. Maybe they're just called the Anon M3s. And then there's also the Anon or Oakley line miner medium size too. So if you have like a smaller face or smaller head, then you can fit into those smaller goggles as well. We got the super chat from Bad Riders. Thanks, man. He's a member and he's from Australia. He says, "Hey Kev, I've got a topic for the members stream: overhyped myths in snowboarding." Ooh, I like it. Okay, that's a good one. Overhyped myths. Oh man, so some of the overhypedness of snowboarding. So yeah, in the members only live stream after the chat, if you guys pop over to that one, if you become a member, we always try to talk about maybe some more controversial topics, things that we might not get away with talking about here on YouTube, just to like spice things up a little bit. But yeah, so that should be really fun. So we'll see. Let me just think about this. If anyone has any, in this chat, any ideas for some things in snowboarding that are overhyped, myths or otherwise, let's get into it. All right. Oh, Bad Rider says, "Welcome to the team, Insane 3 Art and NGen. NGen's on the team too. Oh, sick. Thanks, guys. Yeah, big thank you, guys." So, I mean, the members thing is huge because, I mean, with running a YouTube channel, this past year, like I hired a first ever employee. So Yannick, he was like helping me to film, helping me to edit. And so, yeah, he was like a new employee. And then on top of that, I think with like the economy just being really bad, the revenues that the channel brought in were lower than normal, even though the views were like super good and everything. I think just like revenue wise, it was down. So the membership stuff is a huge supporter of Snowboard Pro Camp. So if you guys like the content, like the videos, that's like an awesome way that you guys can just help to support and just to keep the videos rolling and yeah, helping us eat and all that kind of stuff. So that's super awesome. Speaking of which, Jesse Vega has a $10 super chat. Jesse says, "How did you enjoy the Excavator and After Black boards this year? Overall thoughts on K2? I only bought K2 and I have both boards." Oh, awesome. I love them. The K2 Antidote was amazing this year. Yeah, so I wanted to try out K2 this year just because I've never had a K2 snowboard. Ridden Nideckers in the past, Burton, Capita, all these different brands, GNU, Libtech. And so, yeah, I just wanted to try something different. And so I just did a bit of research. First, I got the K2 After Black as my park board. And like my hopes was that it was going to be good for like riding with speed in the park, hitting some bigger jumps, and also giving me stability like on hitting like box and rail features. I'm about 200 pounds, so when I land on a rail, I don't want my snowboard to like bend out. I don't want it to be like flexing too much. So I wanted a park board that was like stiff enough so that it gives me some stability on those features. And yeah, the K2 After Black, I first rode it in New Zealand in the park at Cardrona, and it just totally did exactly what I wanted it to do. So for riding through the park with speed, because the board is like on this like a little bit stiffer than medium, and so that stiffness really just felt good, felt stable riding at speed, felt very stable for landing jumps. Anytime I was on like a boxer tube, I just felt like the board was supportive and keeping me like nice and level. The board is also like so camber, mostly camber with some rocker towards the tips. So it did feel like aggressive, but it wasn't like too aggressive or catchy. So it didn't feel like I was gonna catch my edge with it at all. So kind of what you want from a park board, to feel a little bit loose, but also enough camber so that you can get like some spring for ollies and just feeling secure as you rode. But then at the same time, I wanted to be like that I could still press it, and I could definitely still get into presses with that board for doing butters and things like that. So it was just it's just a great all-around park board. Does everything well in the park, and I definitely felt like it was giving me, like the board was just allowing me to like ride as best as I could through the terrain park. So yeah, no complaints about the K2 After Black. Awesome park board. I'd like highly recommend it. Even now, like I've rode it all season. There's like nothing wrong with the board at all. The top sheet is looking in good condition. The whole board overall, like I could probably still ride it for like another year. So yeah, really impressed with K2 so far. And then my POW board, the K2 After Black, I bought it with the intention, like I wanted a POW board where I could like ride with speed, that just like kept me floating on top of the snow easy, and just allowed me to like maximize my like POW riding potential. And yeah, the K2 After Black just completely lived up to all those expectations. So the After Black, it has a pretty wide nose. It probably has like one of the widest noses of any POW board or like free ride board out there. So riding through powder, I didn't feel like I had to get onto my back foot like at all. I was just like felt pretty level because the nose is so wide and the tail like gets so small, and the tail's like notched out a little bit too. So floated really well in powder. It was stiff enough that I could ride at high speeds and like land drops because it's got camber like mostly towards the back of the board, and then it rockers out towards the nose just to make it less catchy. So that like camber to rocker, it felt really good for landings, really good for riding at high speeds. So yeah, just like an awesome POW board. And I've like beaten that board up too, like hitting some rocks with it. I even had like me and Chris Ayers kind of at one point, our boards collided and his board went into the base of mine. But even after all that, like the board is still like rides really well. Was riding it yesterday. And it just feels like awesome. So it's the kind of board that where I'm riding it and it feels like it's allowing me to ride like as best as I could. So it's not like interfering with my snowboarding, and it's really just helping me to ride at my potential. So K2 snowboards overall, I'm super impressed. Yeah, love those boards. Don't have anything bad to say about them. Will always recommend those two boards. And yeah, they're sweet. I freaking love it. So next year, like I would be stoked to try out like maybe a different, maybe some more K2s, or maybe just go on to a different brand and find a couple more boards that hopefully live up to what they claim. But yeah, K2, like 10 out of 10 on both those boards. I can't recommend them enough. Engen saying the Oakleys are also cheaper, are also $100 cheaper. Yeah, the Oakleys, that is like a big thing that they're $100 cheaper. All right. Justin Vies, he's saying the excavator is a beast. I just got mine and took it out a few weeks ago. Awesome, Justin. That's so cool that you picked one up, man. Ooh, okay. Bad Riders are with the super chat again, throwing out the first myth in snowboarding. Board width and boot size. Okay, interesting. Myth 1, board width and boot size. Okay, what is the myth? What's the myth around that? That that the width of the board doesn't matter for your boot size? Is that what you're saying? Okay, interesting. Well, we'll have to have a little debate over in the members only live chat right after this. Just wanted to throw it there as well. This summer for session 1 and 2 at the High Cascade Snowboard Camp, I'm going to be there. I'm collaborating with those guys. So if you guys want to come out to camp, snowboard with me, get some one-on-one coaching, potentially be in a Snowboard Pro Camp video, there's a link below to where you can sign up for camp. And if you use the promo code SPC 2023, then it unlocks a whole list of perks. So including that one-on-one coaching on request. I'm going to be doing clinics on the mountain with people who use the code, the SPC 2023 code. Also, you get an SPC merch bundle that's going to be specific for camp. We have a camp dinner that we're going to do, a pre-camp meetup to talk about what to expect when you get to snowboard camp, summer snowboarding camp, and yeah, a few other things. So check out that link below if you're thinking of snowboarding this summer. And it'd be awesome to snowboard with some of you guys if you can make it out. NGen saying he's tested out some K2s in Feb and it was a positive experience. Awesome, man. Yeah, I mean, I think they don't, I feel like K2 is not getting enough love because, yeah, from my experience, they're awesome. Tyler saying, finally got a real pow board, Adventure Euphoria. It's stiff, flat rocker, fishtail with a big spoon nose. The stability, good pow board gives a bit of a game changer this season. Awesome, man. Yeah, getting a good free ride board is definitely a game changer for sure. Slimy 1600 says your videos have helped me get so much better this season. Thank you so much. Also gives me the knowledge to teach my friends or anyone learning switch riding and tame dogs next season. Awesome. Yeah, thanks so much for glad that helped, and stoked that you're sharing that with more people too. Kay saying, what should I learn first, flips or spins? You should probably learn, I think, spins first, but I mean, you can start to learn everything all at once. I think there's more consequence to flips because you're going upside down, but it kind of depends too, on how comfortable you are in the air. So you definitely want to be familiar, say on a trampoline ahead of time, doing all the different flips and have good snow on the day. And for spins too. I mean, you don't need to be on a trampoline to learn spins, but it helps. But yeah, you should probably know how to do 180s and 360s, I think, before going for flips. Bad Rider saying, we will discuss in the members only live chat. We will, man. All right after this. Justin Vega with the super chat. Thank you so much, Jesse, for the support. Says, thanks for the great feedback. I was excited when I saw you on K2 this year. If you try another K2, I suggest the Antidote or Passport. All right, we'll check those out as well. NGen saying, Tyler, ride with a good crew is safer, more fun, and will boost your progress. Absolutely. If you find a good crew to ride with, especially if you're all doing, if you're all working on stuff together, that's a huge boost because let's say for an example, you're all going for 360s, you watch each other, learn from each other, give each other advice, have someone watch you or watch them, and all that just goes into making you a better snowboarder. So definitely, and just having people that for example, if you're riding with people that are faster than you too, kind of pushes you to improve your speed, and you can see how they do it. For me at the moment, it's when I'm riding with people who who take me into like new terrain that is maybe terrain that I'm not familiar with, or like that pushes my riding. That's definitely the best way for me to like improve, is when I ride with people that can show me really cool terrain. Or just people too that look at the mountain a bit differently. And so like, let's say, for example, this past winter, David Jones came out to ride, and we had like one day where we built some backcountry kickers, and seeing the way that he like lined things up and sort of helped build kickers and make that plan, that was really cool, because he looked at the mountain a bit differently from me, and it gave me some like cool inspiration to see like what his plan was. So it's always, yeah, good to see people's different perspective and ride with people and get a different perspective and different knowledge too, all at the same time. Slimy 1600 says, my last run I did a nasty 360, but overspun the landing and completely wrecked myself. Any tips with sticking to landing and stopping that momentum? For sure. So I think when you're going to do 360s, it's more typical that you're going to like land and then kind of like continue to spin on the landing. And what that is usually from is when you're going up a jump, it's very common to kind of like slide the takeoff. And if you slide the takeoff, then usually you also slide the landing. So the way that you take off from a jump is really going to dictate how you land the jump. So one thing to focus on is that when you're going like up the kicker, is that you're getting a very level and clean pop off your board's edge, so that you're like popping, you're going like straight up into the air. Because when you have a clean pop and your board is straight, so even though you're like winding up to spin that 360, if your board's on edge and going straight and you pop up, then you can spin around 360 and then you land straight down. And you don't want to like fully create the spin for the full 360. You almost just want to spin a 270 and then twist the last 90 to then set your board down on the edge going straight. So try to actually like underspin it slightly so that you're popping straight up in the air, creating the rotation so that you spin a 270 and then just twist that last like 90. I think that's like the best way to just to avoid overspinning. And being able to twist also really helps you to always make sure you're landing straight, because whether you're like under rotating or over rotating, being able to just like twist that last little bit helps you to like lock in your edge and then keep it straight. Aaron says, should I get a battalion party wave? Man, it depends. It is a pretty fun looking POW board, free ride POW board. It's pretty wide. I don't know. It depends on like the type of riding you want to do with it, but it does look pretty fun. Engine saying, if you like to play on the mountain, the party wave is a good pick. If you love speed, pick another stick. Yeah, it's pretty, I think because of Battalion's 3BT, makes it feel pretty loose. And it's also not the stiffest board too. So it's like got this like pretty loose feeling. So not going to give you the most stability at high speeds. And Jen saying, hey, potato dude, nice to see you again. Yeah, El Stacker Adventures, dropping the potatoes. Thanks, El Stacker. Hamablez saying, my first board my shop recommended was the Stump Ape. Ended up getting a twin big this season, which was much better for all mountain. But probably gonna look at a true all mountain board this off season. Nice. Yeah, I mean, you're kind of like going from the Stump Ape. That's a pretty like big aggressive board, right? And then the Twin Pig, kind of like that good kind of park board that you can take around the mountain, but getting a more true all mountain board, that's like that could be the sweet spot. No 182 says, love your videos, man. Quick question. I'm 175 centimeters tall. I weigh about 79 to 81 kilograms. I feel like my Jones Stratos 159 is a bit too long. Would you recommend a 156 instead? I don't know. So 80 kilograms, is that, how much is that in pounds? It's like 2.2, right? So 160 plus 40, so you're about 200 pounds. I think the 59 is your size, man. I think 156 might feel too small. I mean, for me, I think the 159. But if you're feeling like it's too big, then maybe you can try the smaller one. Maybe just try it out before you buy it. But I think you need the 159. I think what's going to happen is because you're 80 kilos or 200 pounds, if you get the smaller board, your edge is not going to feel like as stable. So when you go to put on the brakes and stuff, because you're putting more weight onto a shorter length edge, it's not going to really help you as much, and you're going to feel a bit more out of control. But it's interesting that you feel like that is too small. If anything, I would kind of recommend something even bigger. But yeah, it's everyone kind of has different feelings on that. And In Motion SLB saying, I would size down if you want it to feel more playful. Yeah, it's definitely going to feel more playful. You're going to feel more playful for sure. Bad Rider says we need a top 10 boards of 2023 from Wim. Yeah, Engine, let us know, man. What are your top? I mean, you don't have to go into the top 10. What's your top 5? What are your top 5 boards of 2023? That'd be good to know. And Engine asking, so Kevin, when are you coming back to Europe? Did ride with SBC crew this year and I am missing it. Yeah, so what is a Europe trip? No Europe trips planned yet, but we'll definitely let you know. Yeah. Wow, when are we going to go to Europe? I mean, next winter is kind of a open book at the moment. So I think India is kind of penciled in for January, but for December, February, March, there's potential there. But we'll let you know, and it'd be great to get the whole crew back together again and snowboarding somewhere. And Jan says, if you come, I'll wax your board and make food. Awesome. That's a sweet deal. Slimy saying, bro, you are right for sure. I definitely do slide off the lip. I might have to throw the same spin for a bigger jump when I need to throw it a little less to scale for the size of jump. Yeah, it definitely changes too for the size of jump, definitely. But yeah, try to get those spins down on like something small and really focus on that like straight up pop off the edge and like landing straight and riding it out. Oh, In Motion saying 80 kilograms is 75 pounds. Oh, 175. Okay, so the 59 is probably right up your alley, and 56 is maybe a little bit doable at 175 pounds. That's doable for sure. Ooh, and Jen's putting the Apex Golden Orca at number 1. Oh wow. What's like the highlights? The highlights of the feel of the Golden Orca engine. Justin saying, Kevin, are you around mid-May? I'm eyeing a Crystal Mountain trip since they extended their season. Won't cost me that much to get up to Seattle from LA. Awesome, man. Yeah, I mean, I'm not really sure what I'm going to be doing in May. I might be around Oregon. But yeah, let's keep in touch. I'll let you know, man. Hope you have a good time in Mammoth coming up. And yeah, maybe we'll see each other in Washington in May. That's awesome, man. Crystal's staying open. I had no idea. Aaron says, what's that noise? So, oh, my dog is having a drink. Hey, Jake. Hey, Jake. You want to say hi? Say hi, Jakey. Say hello. Oh, good boy. All right, let's Justin Visey saying Jake is a legend. He is. Yeah, yesterday too, I had my first ever POW day, or like backcountry day, snowmobiling, not far from Whistler here. Went up with Chris Ayers and our friends. Alex, our friend Alex had a snowmobile, and man, we went up, and it was like absolutely insane. Got to do like my first ever like snowmobile tour, and it is like super tough, like driving a snowmobile up in the mountains, like moving your body from side to side. And I'm like super just tired now from doing a day of snowmobiling. But yeah, if you guys have ever been snowmobiling, let us know what your experience was like. Yeah, our buddy Brent was up there too with his snowmobile. So it was like Brent and Chris on one snowmobile, and we would do like laps, just like driving each other up the mountain and dropping each other off to snowboard. And then I was with Alex, so me and Alex were doing laps, and it was like super tough. But yeah, shout out to Brent and Alex for taking us up, and yeah, hopefully get some more days on a snowmobile. It's hard work though. I don't know if anyone in the chat has done it, like a backcountry snowmobile day, but it's pretty tough. Oh, okay. So NGen saying number 2 is the Capita Astronaut. Oh, interesting. That's a new board for K2 next year. Is that Arthur Longo's board, the Astronaut? Number 3, the K2 Alchemist. Awesome. Justin Visey saying Tahoe backcountry snowmobiling. I was toast after that day. Yeah, I'm pretty toasted today from snowmobiling. I was gonna potentially go up the mountain today here in Whistler, but I'm like way too sore. Yeah, what else is going on? So yeah, 32 minutes in. Just a quick reminder, guys, if you haven't yet, subscribe here to Snowboard Pro Camp. Hit the bell to get notified every time I go live. So we're going live every Friday. Also doing a members only bonus live chat right after this. And the topic is, what's the topic again? We're doing overhyped snowboard myths. So if you guys have any ideas of like myths about snowboarding that are overhyped or untrue, then we're going to be talking about that in the members only area. And it's an awesome way to support the channel. There's a join button just down underneath the screen on the left. And yeah, awesome way to support the channel. There's 2 tiers, a $5 tier and a $20 tier. And you also get like a cool little emoji next to your name in the comments. And some other like bonuses too. But yeah, check that out. Aaron M says, pants over or under high back? Ooh, that's a good one. I think pants, I would go just under the high back. I definitely think under the high back. Because if you go over, then when you take your foot out, first of all, I think every time you strap up, then you got to always put your pant over top of your high back every time you do it. Your free foot anyway. And then every time you take your foot off, there might be like a little bit of like material catching. So it's like less of a smooth motion coming out of your binding if your pants are over top of your high back. So I would say definitely pants under your high back. Let's do a quick poll. Everyone on the chat, pants over or under your high back? I do under. In Motion SLB says, was over the high back a thing in the early 2000s? Or maybe I'm wrong. I think over the high back was a thing in the early 2000s. I think we used to, yeah, I think it was cool to put the high backs over, or sorry, your pant leg over top of your high back. I think that was a cool thing. What else did we used to do? We used to wear like bandanas over our faces instead of like a balaclava. We just have like a bandana. What else was a thing? I mean, the pants were pretty baggy in the early 2000s. Then they got skinny as the decade went on, and now I think it's back to baggy. Bad Rider saying under. Aaron saying under. Luke Hayes is on here. Another Aussie. Oh, Luke says usually over because my pants are too tight if they're under. Okay, interesting. Yeah, you get too bunched up and tight underneath. Okay, that's a good one. Over. Hama Blez says under because I have the Burton step-ons. Yeah, with the step-ons, you got to go under. Oh, yeah, Jesse's saying, yeah, high backs look sick, and I would rather not ruin a good pair of pants. Oh, okay, another quick poll. Do you guys put your mitts over or under your sleeves? Also in that poll, do you have gloves or mitts? So I do mitts. And to be honest, I kind of leave my mitts like just, they're not over or under. They're just kind of outside. I don't have the patience to, because I'm constantly like doing stuff with the GoPro, changing batteries and everything. I don't have the patience to be putting my jacket over top, strapping it up, all that kind of stuff, or doing the vice versa, putting my mitts over top of my jacket sleeve. So I just kind of like just leave it how it is. But yeah, do you guys have gloves or mitts? And do they go over or under your jacket sleeve? Bad Rider says mitts and undersleeve. Nice. And Jen, depends on the type of mitts. It does depend on the type of mitts for sure. Some mitts are designed to go over or under. I would prefer the style of mitts that go under though. Tarukus says mitts under. Hamablez over sleeves, gloves. Nice. Kazu says mitts under sleeve. Jesse says over if it's a pow day. Otherwise, I don't bother too much. Yeah, that's what I do. I don't really have a preference. In Motion, mitts, undersleeve. Takes his time to make sure they go underneath and slow Kevin down. Yeah, for sure. Half of my season is like memories of Yannick just doing his sleeves and wrist guards too. He's got the wrist guards are under there. Oh, that's another poll. All right, one more poll. What safety gear do you guys wear besides the helmet? Is there any other safety gear? So I used to wear impact shorts, but I haven't worn those in a few years. But I know there's also, you got knee pads, impact shorts, elbow pads, wrist guards, spine protectors, helmets. So the only thing I wear is a helmet. But yeah, what else do you guys wear for protection? Oh, and Hamablez with another one. How often do you guys wash your snowboard pants and jacket? Real question. I used to wash my stuff quite a bit and then also have that, there's like a detergent you can add in with it to re-waterproof stuff. But I kind of stopped doing that. I just let my stuff get dirty. But actually my Quicksilver pants that I've been riding for like three months now, I definitely need to give them a wash. So I'm going to wash actually my snowboard pants tonight. But yeah, do you guys wash your snowboard jacket and pants? Mex Man says, "Yo, Kevin, first 360 at 51 years old. Thanks for your help." Awesome, Mex. That's amazing. Yeah, so stoked for you. Way to go. Happy the tips helped, man. Taruckus wears a jock strap. Okay, that's interesting. Aaron M says, "I'm bad. I don't wear any." Oh man, you should definitely wear a helmet just in case, man. Just in case somebody else runs into you. You never know. Oh yeah, so In Motion SLB did have a crash hitting his nose and got a bloody nose. So he got blood all over his jacket and pants. So did watch that recently. I was there for that one. Bad Riders, only safety gear I wear is helmet and goggles. Keeping stuff out of the eyes is just as important as keeping the head safe. Jesse starts to wash it when the gear starts to smell. Okay. One way to avoid the smelliness is to like make sure everything is dry at the end of each day. I know that the days that I forget to dry out my mitts, they start to get a bit funky, and that's just because the water and everything sits in there and starts to like mildew. So definitely dry your stuff out. Boots especially. Boots can get the most stinky if they stay wet. Justin Visey, another debate, MIPS versus wave cell. Okay, interesting. I mean, that one's very specific, and that one's so hard because I don't know if those two things, like, it's hard to know like what they do. But I've had both. I would say I don't really have any preference, really. I think they're both trying to protect your head, so I mean, I don't really know anything beyond that, but I did have MIPS, wave cell last year and MIPS this year. Oh, Aaron, sounds like you had a crash last year and needed a surgery. Man, I hope you're feeling better, dude. Jesse Vega saying, any tips to remove rust from edges? Usually dry my board to avoid this, but I missed a day 2 years ago and I got a bit of rust. Yeah, Bad Rider says, yeah, gummy stone to remove rust. Yeah, there's like, I have one of these as well. It's just like a small little like rectangle. It's called the gummy stone. So it's not like super hard. And you can just kind of like slightly brush it against your edge, and it's a good way to remove all the rust. NGen with his number 3 board, the Libtech Terrain Wrecker. Oh, wow. Man, NGen, you're riding a lot of boards that I have not heard of before. The Terrain Wrecker, that sounds awesome. And Jen, we need to get you over to North America, and you can ride at Mount Baker, man. I think you would love it. That's kind of like Libtech's second home, I think, hanging out around Mount Baker. Taruka is asking, what's your favorite deep POW board? Probably my favorite is the one I'm riding at the moment, the K2 excavator. Really love it. That would be my number 1. Number 2, I really loved last year the Nidecker Beta APX. Number 3, maybe I would do the Jones Ultramind Expander. Those would be my top 3 deep POW boards. Luke Hayes with the super chat. Awesome. Thanks for the support, Luke. Luke says, sorry, Yannick, lucky enough to go to a camp at High Cascades last year and improve my riding by at least 2 years. Anyone get a chance to go to SBC camp. Take it. Awesome. Thanks, Luke. Yeah, and Luke is referencing the collab I'm doing this summer with High Cascade Snowboard Camp. And if you guys can make it out, session 1 or 2, link in the description. But yeah, Luke, man, yeah, me and Luke Hayes and the Aussie guys and also Al Stacker had a crazy POW day. Luke was on the Battalion Surfer and just absolutely cruising through the POW, through like the deepest Palisades POW day. And yeah, I think Luke doing that sort of like keeping your snowboarding going a bit all year round. So you got the Australia season, you got the summer camp, getting that coaching from TJ, and then also like being back here in North America. Like, I mean, yeah, your riding was way up there, super high level riding, Luke. So thanks for the support, man, and thanks for the little shout out on the camp there. Really appreciate it. So Bad Rider says wave cell and MIPS dispel energy from an impact, Kev. Wave cell spreads out in crushing fashion, where MIPS has a second shell that slides to dispel the energy. Yeah, kind of two different ways of dispelling impact. Hamablez asking, is Libtech a top tier brand? I think Libtech is a top tier brand for sure. You know, like a few boards that I think are like high up there is, I mean, the Orca and the whole Orca series, all that is like very like high end. They got Travis Rice riding those boards, who's like one of the best in the world. And I mean, with that board alone, it just shows that, yeah, Libtech really know what they're doing. And they've got like a bunch of other boards. That's the one that really stands out though, is the Orca. But yeah, and I mean, they're made in the US, so that's probably like adds a bit to the price as well. So they're not made like in China or anything like that. They're not mass produced. They're kind of made more. And I mean, it's still in like a decent sized factory, but they're made in America. So I think that probably adds a bit to the price. And made by hand, and Jen says, yeah, they're not like just fed through machines like a big machine processing plant. It's a bit more hands-on crafting. Justin says, SPC Meetup 2024 Palisades at the Cabin de Justin. Let's do it. Show everyone the spots. Dude, that'd be amazing. Yeah, let's set that up. 2024 Palisades. I love that place. Palisades is so cool. I got to go back. And we'll do the Cabin de Justin. I love it, man. Thanks, brother. Luke Hayes, that's just a drop in the ocean. Thank you for everything you've done for us and the community. Much love to you, brother. Still the best I've ever had snowboarding. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, Luke. Yeah, man, that day was just incredible. That was so much fun. I think that was like my favorite day of the season. Just that video of El Stacker cruising and just having so much snow just like flying up over his entire, just like pretty much overhead. It was wild. Yeah, Real to Real for Real says Never Summer, also made by hand in the US. Love my Never Summer Peacemaker. Such a fun and versatile board. Yeah, it's really good to support those kinds of companies too. The ones that are doing it in kind of like, not old school way, but they're doing it in, they're keeping the manufacturing sort of close to home. So like Libtech, they make their boards in Washington and then they can go test them not far away in the local mountains. So I think it's kind of like a bit of more of an authentic creation process that way too. And then Never Summer based in Colorado. And I imagine those guys are just heading up to the mountains around Colorado and testing them out like crazy. So it's kind of cool so that the boards are made right near where they're ridden. Awesome, guys. So I'm going to leave the live chat here, and we're going to head over to the members only area for another live chat. And yeah, get into some spicy topics over there. Again, just an awesome way if you guys want to support the channel. Big shout out to everyone who dropped a super chat. But if you want to become a member, there's the join button right down here. Great way to support the channel. There's a $5 tier and a $20 tier. But everyone is welcome to join in the members only live chat. So we're gonna hop over there now. But yeah, super fun live chat with all you guys. And great questions, and I will see you guys on here next Friday. I hope if anyone's snowboarding this weekend, hope you have a fun weekend snowboarding, and I'll catch you in a week. Awesome. Later, guys.